Welcome back, everybody. This is Woolrig, and we're on episode 20 of Anti-Material Energy. So last time we built this nice little room. I've spent a good deal of time in it. I got the sag mills set up here, and they're set up just to pull out the Certus quartz. I've got it feeding everything into my ME system. As you see, I brought the cabling down. I actually have the mining machine off right now, so we're not getting any more, mainly because I had to move my pump. I had depleted my pool of lava that I was pulling from, and really the main thing I was trying to find a lot of was Certus quartz. So I've got that. So today I want to get some auto crafting done, because if I look at my quest line, I don't have a quest book on me. If I look at the quest book, I have a few things that I need to get done. One in particular is that I need to make a singularity. So I need a singularity, but that requires a 64K storage cell. And if we look at what a 64K storage cell requires, a storage component, so I need 16K, which is 4K, and 1K, which is like that. So needless to say, it requires a lot of crafting that I could do by hand, but that just doesn't sound nearly as fun. And besides, now that I've got all this Certus quartz, I want to start using it. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is actually add a controller. So I need an engineering processor, which I probably don't have, and it looks like I'm a little short on some fluix crystals as well. So to make fluix crystals, let's just go ahead and grab, I don't know, about half of those. Sounds like a good number. And some redstone. And another quartz. About 15 of these. So, something like this. So what you do is you take these three items, and make sure I don't have my magnet on. I don't. So charge Certus quartz, another quartz, and redstone dust. Toss them into a pool of water together, and you'll see they kind of spark. And next thing you know, we get ourselves a bunch of fluix crystals. Now I can just craft with these fluix crystals if I want to. Let's jump back out and go back to the main base here. I don't want to craft with these fluix crystals because it's not very efficient to do that. So what I'm going to do actually is put these into the correct machine, the sag mill, and I'm going to grind the fluix crystals down to fluix dust. I mix the fluix dust with sand, and I can get seeds. So I'll grab some sand. So one fluix dust gives me 2 seeds. If I go ahead and turn on my growth chamber here, I can toss these in and let them grow. So it's much more efficient. So each fluix crystal equals 2 purified fluix crystals. And most recipes, there's only one recipe that requires the same number, and that's these growth chambers, which, if you think about it, it makes sense. So that's growing. So what I'm trying to build here is this controller, and the main reason for that is because if we look here, we have 7 of 8 channels in use. I went ahead and added an ME drive storage array here, so I can put more drives in, because I started filling up and running out of space. But I only have 1 channel left, so I want to do something to give myself some more channels. So what was the other thing I needed? The processor, which that is a diamond. Perfect. Actually, I may have those. Oops. I already made a bunch of engineering circuits preparing for this. Just waiting for those to finish growing. Sounds like our sag mill finished. It did. Let me grow these crystals real quick, since it's going to be kind of boring watching that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I got myself a controller, and I was just placing it right here inside of the compact machine. I decided I want to put my controller here because this is where I'm going to have the bulk of my system at, so it makes the most sense just to put it here. The way the controller works is that, as you saw, without a controller I had a total of 8 channels that I could use across the entire system. And I had very quickly gotten to 7, and so only had 1 free channel left. So by doing this now I have a controller that every side of this controller can have a maximum of 32 channels in use. So the regular Fluix cable will only pass 8 channels, so I can still only have 8 channels with the cable I'm using, but I can do other things to make it much more efficient and get better utilization out of it. So that's back online. If we pop outside here, I did replace the cable on top with the smart cable, so I can see the 5 channels coming out of this block, or I guess going in technically, between basically the outside world and the controller. So there's 5 channels in use out here, and 2 in use in here, because I have the ME interface and the crafting terminal up here. So now what are we going to do? Let's get, we need to make some crafting parts. First thing I want to do is make a crafting unit, and I'll bet I need some processors that I don't have. I have a couple. Alright, we're going to let's make 3 of these crafting units. And the parts that I want are, first I'm going to start with the 1K, which I happen to have one of those, a spare one laying in there, I knew that. So 1K, I think I want to go with a coprocessor, and I'll explain what these various parts do. And then I like to have a crafting monitor. How hard is that going to be? Level emitter. Okay. Crafting monitor might be too much. What else can I do? Make another 1K. And let's make 1 more of these. I don't know why I made an odd number. I knew I wanted it even. And coprocessor. So what I'm going to do is set these up. The way that these crafting parts work is that they're actually multi-block structures. So I'm just going to come over here, seems like a good spot, and put down that one, and because I like things to be centered and look nice, that one, sure, why not. Put the coprocessor on top, and you'll see they form a multi-block structure, and now I just need cabling. And of course I did this and I realized I'm not sure I have enough cable. So we're going to make some more fiber. And Fluix cable. Okay. That should get me where I need to go. So with these multi-block structures, I just have to connect any one of the sides of any one of the blocks. We're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to come off the back side here. And like so and like so, and then these guys should come online shortly. Perfect. Online. So the crafting processors are up. The problem is they don't really do anything because I need a molecular assembler. There we go. Which needs annihilation and formation planes. I think I have one, so it's the annihilation plane I need with some more nether quartz. Just grab a handful here. Assembler. What else? I needed the crafting table. Should have grabbed one of those. Alright. Should give us one. Let's go for two. I know I'm going to want two. I need more fluix. So there's a reason I didn't turn all that fluix into seeds, because I do actually need fluix dust for a few things. And the only way to make it is by grinding. Well, I guess not the only way. There's a mine chem way, but I have easier ways. So that should be putting some fluix dust into the AE system. Perfect. So I'm making two of these assemblers, and I just realized I need more. That interface is technically in use, but not right now. Okay, I'm going to steal this interface, and I'm going to steal this interface. That should do. And you saw that one of the channels freed up there. I don't know if you caught that when I jumped back through. So I need these interfaces because that's how I'm going to be able to send crafting jobs out. So I'll put you here, you here, you there. No. I'll put this one there, and let's go ahead and move that. Put that one there. So I think those guys will pass data through them. So the assemblers don't take any data channels. Yeah, they pass data through them. They don't take a channel, but they will pass it through. So by doing this, I've got a nice little multi-block set up here. So each one of these interfaces can talk to each one of these assemblers. And this is where I'm going to program my crafting recipes. So now if we do blank patterns, like so, of course. So just take as many as we can because I'm going to want them. And then I need a pattern terminal. This needs a crafting terminal, which needs... Oh, I need more processors, don't I? I have them. Okay, so I need an ME terminal, which is like that, but I don't have enough logic processors. Alright, let me grab like half a stack of these. Let me get everything I need to make this next piece, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I have a couple more interfaces, or a couple more terminals to mount up. So I went ahead and I made the interface terminal. This one allows me to see all of the interfaces I have on the network, so I can see them all from one place. This is going to come in handy here in a second. The other one is the pattern terminal. This is where I will actually program in the various patterns So the first thing I'm going to need are some cores. I need to make annihilation cores and formation cores, because these are the basis of a lot of things on the network. So you'll notice what I'm doing there is I can just shift click into this interface. As long as I have one of whatever item is necessary, I can put it in there. And then I encode the pattern by clicking this button. It encodes it into a blank pattern. And they come into my inventory as encoded patterns. If I hold shift, I can actually see what the item looks like. But now I can take these, I'll come over to my molecular assemblers here, and I'll place one in each. So what I should be able to do now is jump over to here, and you'll see I've got one formation core, and I have 0 annihilation cores, but I can request one from the crafting system. And so this is going to look at my inventory, and it's going to tell me first off whether I have all of the available items. It's going to tell me how much storage is required, and so this is where the size of the crafting storage comes into play. So if we look at that again, if I'm requesting one, we can see it's going to take 45 bytes because these items actually get stored in the crafting storage over here. The coprocessor allows it to do multiple pieces at once. So if I had a compound recipe, which I don't have any yet, but like say for example, the next thing I'm probably going to make is an interface. So let's just go ahead and do that now, because I know I need lots of interfaces. These always come into play at some point. So I have formation, I need annihilation. So let's just go ahead and request one. See, we have everything, and pretty quickly, there it is. So now I can come here and program in an interface, just like that. Go ahead and drop that in there, and now I can request interfaces. So if I come here, I see that I can request an interface. There's one available for crafting, and we see we have all the available glass and iron and the formation cores. Let's take out our cores. Let's take out our formation core. So now I'm going to be short one. As you can see, I don't have one in there. I have one in my inventory, which is fine. But if I go to craft the interface now, what you'll notice is that it says I have everything, but that I have to craft 2 formation cores. And so this is where the coprocessor comes into play, because now if I didn't have that coprocessor and I requested an interface, I wouldn't be able to request it because it would be unavailable, and I wouldn't, or I'd have to, I'd have to craft it, but I'd have to wait for the formation core to finish before I could attempt the interface. And when I'm crafting one, it's not a big deal, but if I were, say, I don't know, request 10, first off, I'm missing some things, so we see they turn red when I'm missing stuff, but I would have to craft 10 of them, and so the way this would work is I would have to craft all 10 of these first, and then I could craft all 10 of the interfaces. But by having the coprocessor, I can actually do multiple pieces of the job at the same time, and since I've got multiple interfaces and multiple assembly cores, I can do everything, I can do multiple things at once. So that's handy. That's the main reason I want to have those coprocessors on there. It just helps speed things along in the long run. So, what are we doing now? Right, we need to make some, start with some 1K, so we're going to go ahead and program those, and then put them over here. And then once we have the 1K, we can see again I can craft one. I should have everything I need. I do. I'm going to run out of logic processors here, I believe, before too long. But now that I have one of those, I can come over here to a 4K, and we see that a 4K requires 3 1Ks. And quartz glass. Oh, right. Quartz glass. So let's go ahead and program that in. This is where you can see how I'm going to fill up these interfaces pretty quickly here. So we'll go and request some quartz glass. Should be good. And I already forgot what I was going for. Alright, 4K. So now, even though I only have a single 1K storage component, I was able to actually use it to place it in each one of those slots. So now I can request, if we go to our main terminal here, I can request a 4K. And it says I have everything. So you'll see I have one available of the 1K. Let's get this out of the way. I have one available and I need to craft 2 more. Everything else looks like it is available. So we'll bring that back. We'll hit start. And we can click on the little hammer up here to see the status. That gives us the crafting status, and we can click through jobs if there's multiple jobs. And again, that's because I have 2 of these. I can actually do 2 different crafting. I can request 2 different crafting jobs at one time. So there's a 4K. Well, we're getting somewhere. So now I can use the 4K and I can program in a 16K. And you can see why I wanted to do this instead of doing it by hand. So 16K, do I have enough? I do not. I need more logic processors. So those, there should be some waiting for me. How's this stuff doing here? Looks like I need some more redstone. Just a couple. So we'll throw some redstone in there, let those last few finish up. Okay. And we're making 16K. Yes, we are. Perfect. And if we click on this, we'll see the status. It goes pretty quick. Most of these crafting jobs are actually fairly fast. It's when you start mixing machines in that the recipes tend to slow down a bit. I need quartz. Need some more quartz glass. Okay. There's my 64K. And just like that, we should be able to request a 64K storage component. I'm missing some more pure and 3 of those. Okay. So I'm missing 25 pure Certus quartz. So what I need for that is just take half a stack of this. Some more gold. Just a handful of those. Right? Yep. Actually, I should already have some. So it looks like I got to make a few more pure crystals. So I will do that real quick. And that's just growing more crystals. So let me do that and be right back. Okay, I'm back. And I have the 64K storage component. So I've gone ahead and broken the pipe that feeds my cobblestone compression system down below. So I'll place the matter condenser down. And we saw I built this a while ago as part of a quest. But now I can put a 64K storage component in there, and you'll see it start to store energy. And it's got a long way to go before it can get filled up. So we'll let that run, and that's just going to go ahead and create. Oops. Oh, there we go. That's what I need to do. There we go. So I can place items in there too. So condenses into a singularity 256,000 per item. Unfortunately, that's exactly how much this 64K storage component can hold. So that's going to do its thing. I will let it do its thing, and eventually, as soon as it does, I'll have that quest finished. So let's get back onto the quest line. There were some of these charcoal ones I hadn't finished yet. Green fruit charcoal. And I think I can do this. So double compressed cactus and double compressed melon. Sugarcane, cactus, cactus, melon, sugarcane, melon, melon, cactus. So is it 3? Looks like 3 of each. So we will find our double compressed cactus. Grab 3 of those. Sugarcane, double compressed. And melon. And of course these are things that I've had for a long time. I just finally am getting back around to doing these quests. And there's EMC value on that, so I can just go ahead and turn him into there. And that gets me that one. So let's go with the red fruit. Let's see, that needs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 charcoal. Egg, apple, apple, egg, egg. So 3 eggs, 3 apples. I don't know. Do I have? I do. 1, 2, 3. Apple. 1, 2, 3. And charcoal. Like so. That should give me the red fruit, which it does. I'll go teach the system that. And complete another quest. Lastly is brown fruit. So, carrots, pumpkin, and potatoes. 3 carrots, 3 pumpkin, and lastly, potatoes. Potatoes. There we go. That gets that one. Then I get to make one super fruit, the holy charcoal. Super fruit, which is green, red, and brown. Okay, that's easy enough. 2, 3. This is where my mountain of EMC is making this almost ridiculously easy. Almost. Like, I would feel bad for cheating if I actually thought it was cheating. And that gets me that one. Devon to the rescue is complete. Oh, don't tell me. Those are all greater. Okay, well, those are worthless. Let's see what this epic one gives me. Total troll. Seriously. Yeah, all of these greater reward bags, and apparently the epic ones too. Troll, troll, troll. Okay. Archmage Pixel Pix. Let's get this finished up. So, Sword of the Thief. I need a Sword of the Thief. That one. Needs Angel Steel of 2nd degree. I need 4 of those and blue. Oh good, I can show you how I've been doing the vortex infusion. So I need 4 2nd degrees. I think I have been... I can't break it back down. Was there any second degrees? 5th, 6th, 4th, 3rd, 1st. Okay, let's get some charcoal and get these pumps going again. So the cactus is what I like to use here. 4 of those. I thought I had a bow. I do. Okay, I have a bow. I got a couple arrows. Good. Shoot that guy, and that's going to start the pump. And throw these down. Not like that, please. No. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. Okay. Man alive. There we go. Okay, that should get my pump going here. Should get me more aura climbing up, because these guys should be just chocked full of violet aura. Oh yeah. Same with this guy. Yeah, it's just astronomical, to say the least. And okay, well, those guys are gonna, well, they're gonna do their thing. So I need some second degrees to make that one. Not gonna work. Let's make the bookshelf container. Bookshelf container needs arcane blue and a prism. Alright. So I've got some arcane blue. Do I have any blue wool? I don't. Alright, I got a few things to craft here. Let me do these off camera real quick and be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, I'm doing some vortex infusion, as you can see. I've got a couple of gems made. I need to get, of course, I need to make a prism, so I need to have 8 gems, one of every of the primary colors. So, you know, I'm back at this thing. I haven't figured out a real good way to automate this, but this is about as close as I've gotten to good automation. And so we've got the pumps. I had some different nodes up here previously trying to do some different things, and they didn't really work the way I liked it. As you can see here, I'm actually using the yellow aura right now. The main reason for that is because yellow aura, if we go look at our book here, yellow aura actually has a 2x ascent boost, meaning it takes half as much energy to pump while producing the normal amount of power. So I can get basically more total power pumped up with this. The downside of yellow is that it does decay rather rapidly, about 1 aura per second. So you have to be constantly feeding it. The nice thing is, if you notice, I had some issues with it previously because the violet and the white didn't decay, and so my vortex infusion here was actually full, and I needed yellow, but I couldn't put any in, so I ended up having to break all of these nodes and reset everything. Let's turn this off real quick. So if you look at the progression here, we can see that the 3 of them, so the 3 ingots are done, which is why I've got this lever that turns those 3 off, and they're going to continue to drop yellow, so I'm wasting some aura there. That's okay. But this diamond takes 60,000 instead of 20,000, and As you can see, it's going to take a little bit longer. So what I do, what I've figured out to do is, I used to look at the pump here, and if you see, there's no aura in the pump. And that's because the aura is coming down, going into the pump, and being immediately pumped back up. So you really don't want any aura in the pump. If you do, you're kind of wasting it. What I try to do is I look at the block here underneath of the item, and I see how much aura is in it. So I see there's 51. I know that with 51 I should probably throw some more aura in here. And you can tell that you're getting good usage out of the aura when you do this, because it's going to drop by more than one aura per second. If you see that number decreasing by 1 per second, then that means that the system is basically full and it can't take any more, and then you're just wasting it. So this should be just about done. It is soon. And what you'll notice here is the yellow aura is going up steadily. So there's kind of it's kind of like a pressure system. And if you notice, to get these guys restarted, I just pulled those pistons back. It's kind of like a pressure system. So we see we've got 117, 118, so we're still climbing, so we're still building up pressure in the system. Over time that will start to drop. As you can see, these guys are down in the 50s. So if I want to get these guys to be a little bit more productive, I'll just throw in some yellow aura, and you'll see this 56 will start to climb. Yeah, see, these guys are already up to 75. And we can see what our progression is. So my automation that I've set up here, this is about as best as I've come up with the hoppers. They will feed into the what is that? The vortex pedestal. So I can basically have the next item ready to go. I do need to come over here and make some more of these specialty ingots. So I know I need 8 of them. So I've got this guy stocked with all the diamonds. These ones I've just been doing like so. And I have 3. So I got 3. 4th one's in the make right now. Nope, these guys are done. See, if I was really paying attention, I'd stop this long before they hit 20,000, because as you can see, it's still dropping. And if we go up here, we'll see there's still quite a bit of aura in these 2 nodes. So there's still a lot up there that's going to fall down, but oh well, I'm going to waste some. I've wasted lots in the past. So this is, I think, a good wrapping up point, as good as I can get, because this is going to take some time to finish. As you can see, we just finished that one. Go ahead and pull these guys back out and start the next one. So I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. When I come back, I will have all of these gems done. I will actually probably have the prism, because that's ultimately what I'm going for. If we go look at what our prism takes, cascading processor. So I need to finish making these guys and then feed them into the cascading processor, and they will make my prism. So for now, this is Walrig signing off. I will see you next time. Bye bye.